Hey guys, how's it going? Today is going to be the BookTube Real Talk tag. This was originally created by Books with Alyssa J. As always, I'm going to link the original video and the questions down below. One of my other BookTube friends, Yumi Yamamoto, I'm going to leave her linked down below as well, did this tag recently, and I really liked it because she's also fairly new to BookTube, and this tag is all about it's like the real talk of BookTube, and you usually have a lot of veteran booktubers doing it, but I really liked this tag and I really wanted to do it, and I had put it on my videos to-do list for once I've been on BookTube for a while, but I saw Yumi doing it and I thought it was really cool to get a newbie's perspective, and I mentioned that to her and she suggested that I do it, so I am. Also, in case you saw it, yes, SAVY did this 2 weeks ago, I think. Her psychic powers are contagious. And my final disclaimer is, yes, I am losing my voice. I've been really sick, just like I think everyone else on the planet. This weather is just bonkers. So I'm going to try to cut out all of my sniffling and coughing, but my voice is kind of coming and going, and sorry. So before my voice dies completely, let's get into the questions. Question number 1, what's something nobody told you about BookTube before you started your channel? Honestly, how much time BookTube takes? I'm not saying that I watched it and everybody made it look easy and it didn't look like they put any work into it, because that's definitely far from the truth. But I guess I just didn't realize how much time can go into editing, how long it takes to, sit down, film, etc. And not only that, but something that I didn't factor in is that you also have to, probably read books. Because our channels are talking so much about books, we also have to have time to read books. So, for example, a couple weeks ago, I started a new job, and I'm not used to sitting in front of a computer all day. I've never had any other desk jobs, and I've been getting, they're getting a lot better now, but I started getting pretty bad headaches by the end of my shift. So when I got home, I didn't want to read at all because I had a headache and I was tired and blah blah blah. So not only did I have to make time to actually film videos, but I also had to make time to read books, and I guess I just didn't factor that in and nobody told me. Side note though, I have started reading more audiobooks and that's helped a lot, so that's been something, but like I mentioned, I'm not very good at retaining information that I hear, so audiobooks aren't the best option for me, but it's better than nothing. Question number 2. What's your opinion on typical BookTube videos, so wrap-ups, TBRs, reviews, etc.? I think it kind of depends. I love watching these videos. I think wrap-ups are one of my favorite videos to watch, just because it's a nice way to kind of just get exposed to new books and hear kind of the quick version of whether or not somebody liked the books and stuff. I started watching BookTube because I wanted to, be exposed to new books and hear other people's opinions and hopefully find new books to love. As far as the other ones go, they're kind of the staple content in our community. So I think that they're perfectly fine. I love watching them. I think that people kind of expect those videos, but if that's all you do, I'm probably not going to subscribe to your channel. There are a ton of awesome booktubers that their content is 50-50 between kind of the typical content and, other fun things, maybe some tags or challenges or just other types of videos. And I like watching those channels the most because I do want to see wrap-ups and TBRs and book hauls and all of these things, but I don't want to only see that because after a while it is going to get kind of repetitive and maybe a little bit boring. So I like when people have a good mix of them, but I don't think it's fair to, criticize people for being uncreative or something because they're doing these typical videos, because that'd be like saying it's like if you didn't like that beauty YouTubers did makeup tutorials. Yes, if that's all they do, it's gonna get boring, but you kind of expect that content and you want that content. That's why people are going to your channel. And also, those are excellent ways to kind of attract more people to watch your channel. Something, YouTube algorithm, blah, blah, blah. But every time I watch a different wrap-up, my recommended bar over on the side is a mix of, that person's other videos and stuff, and a lot of other people's wrap-ups, and a lot of these people I've never heard of before, but if I see them, for example, holding up a book that I like, or there's something in that kind of piques my interest, I'm gonna go to their channel, I'm gonna watch their content, and then it's just gonna be, I'm gonna be a new subscriber to them, it's just great. It's a good thing, but I do understand that if that's all your channel is gonna get a little bit boring. Question number 3. What is an assumption you had about BookTube before you joined, and was it proven correct or not? The first one that comes to mind is you see in channels that, you know, they join BookTube to make friends and that the BookTube community is so welcoming, and you hear that all the time. And well, I didn't necessarily think that all these people were lying, but honestly, I assumed that everybody was exaggerating because, I don't know, I feel like every community is going to say that, like, yeah, we're welcoming and we like when new people join us, blah, blah, blah. Like, people aren't going to say, like, yeah, don't bother making a blah, blah, blah type YouTube channel because we're all full up here. We don't want any new content. We don't want you, like, etc. Like, people aren't going to say that. So when people kept talking about, like, you know, how welcoming the BookTube community was and how it's, like, so easy to make friends, I was like, okay, yeah, sure it is. But no, like, it really, really is. So I guess my assumption was that people were exaggerating, and I was proven wrong. There are a lot of people now that I ended up, you know, following on Twitter, and, like, I watch all their videos, I comment on all their videos, they comment on my videos, and it's not just like, oh look, we both have similar YouTube channels. It's, you know, like, oh man, I see you're doing this, that's so cool, or like, I see something they post on Twitter, and I'm like, oh man, like, that's really neat. Like, it's very supportive. Another example is Tag. So, like I said, Savvy did this video a couple weeks ago, and I commented and let her know, like, oh man, I was planning to do this video in a couple weeks. Like, her reaction wasn't something like, oh, well, I did it and you're just a copycat, and like, mine's obviously gonna be better, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, maybe she was thinking that in her head, but I highly, highly doubt it. Like, it's really surprising to me that sometimes I'll comment on someone's video, and I'll say something like, oh man, like, this video was such a cool idea, like, it was really a unique spin on this or whatever, and people will be like, oh yeah, like, I really enjoyed filming it, you should do it. And I think that's really cool. Like, it's not like we're over here like hoarding our ideas. You know, like, I really feel like the community really wants everybody to grow, and like, so many times people are like shouting out other channels or like supporting their friends, and I don't know, I really thought it was an exaggeration, and I'm glad I was proven wrong. Question number 4. What is something you've done that has actually helped you grow your audience? Tying into what I said before, and I know this is gonna sound cheesy, but honestly, making friends. One of the things that's really helped me so much is making other BookTube friends. And then, you know, you're just naturally gonna comment on each other's videos. Sometimes I'll be talking to a different BookTuber and I'll mention like, oh yeah, and then my friend so-and-so did this or whatever. Like, I don't know, you just kind of naturally end up kind of promoting each other, but really making friends and commenting on other people's videos. And I don't mean commenting like, oh hey, I'm also a booktuber, can you check out my channel? Or like, I subscribe, can you subscribe to me? Like, I hate those comments, but you know, sometimes you'll be like commenting on other people's videos, and then you'll mention something like, oh man, I liked this as well, this is my favorite book, I did a review on this, or like, oh, this is giving me a great idea for my channel, or something, and it just like comes out that you have a channel too, and people are always like, oh man, that's so cool, let me go check it out. So honestly, like, interacting with people and making friends has just been a really, like, I don't know, more organic way to grow my channel, and I've really enjoyed that. It's been really fun, and I said this and I genuinely mean it. I joined BookTube because I like talking about books and because I want to like connect with other people who also like talking about books. So yeah, making friends has honestly been a huge help, and it's been a lot of fun too. Question number 5. What is a common mistake you see new booktubers make, or one that you've made yourself? I've only been making videos for about 5 months now, so by no means am I like an expert on anything, but one thing that I kind of realized was a bit of a mistake is thumbnails are actually important. You know, my first couple videos, and you can go back and check on my channel, it's just a random screenshot of a not so weird looking face that I took while I was editing my video, and that's all it is. But I kind of realized, like, I'm not likely to click on a really like boring thumbnail. You know, that's your first impression, is your thumbnail and your title. And your thumbnail, especially for me as like a more visual person, I see the thumbnail first, and then I'll read the title afterwards. But that's all it is. So like, you could have a really interesting title, but if your thumbnail is really boring, it's not gonna do anything. And I know that I haven't quite mastered thumbnails yet. I still know that there's, you know, more ways I can improve, and I know I'm only gonna get better. But now I try to actually take a thumbnail picture beforehand, and I always now put the title of the video on the thumbnail because that's what's catching your attention. You know, like a really interesting and snappy sounding title is cool, but if no one's actually reading the text and reading your title, it doesn't really matter. So yes, one of the more common mistakes that I made is that thinking that thumbnails weren't important. Question number 6. What are your opinions on working with publishers and sponsorships? Now, for the most part, I really like it because, I mean, I don't think that anybody really joined BookTube to become, you know, rich and famous and make a living. It is nice to make a little bit of income off your passions. Yes, you can do BookTube for free, for very cheap, etc. But sometimes, like, you want to do better videos, bigger videos, you want to upgrade your equipment. Like, there's cost involved in growing your channel, and there doesn't have to be. But, you know, like, say you want a better camera, not even like a great camera, just a better camera, or even just, heck, the price of books, or like, I don't know, anything like that. And I think that if working with publishers and getting sponsorships helps that, I'm all for it. And I do think a lot of people have really cool ways to kind of like tie their like sponsorships into really cool content, and I love those videos. I do think it would be really cool to end up like getting a big enough channel that like publishers start sending you free books, because like we love books. You know, it's not like I think that people that do these things are sellouts or, you know, I no longer trust their opinions. Like, no, I'm happy for them. I think that's what it comes down to. I'm happy for the ones that end up getting those deals because that's really cool and it's really exciting. There are some booktubers that I love that do a pretty high number of sponsorships and partnerings with publishers and stuff like that, and I have nothing against that, but there are some people that I feel like they almost only do videos like that and sponsored videos, and it's kind of similar to what I was saying about like the typical booktube videos. I love wrap-ups, but if you literally only do wrap-ups, I think it's really nice that so many people have been transparent with that and said like, look, this is what sponsorships are, this is the reality of these partnerships, this is what it's not. You know, it's not, hey, if I give you this money, will you say my book is good? Like, I think that has helped the perception a lot. It's just people being open and honest about what these deals really are like. So I definitely don't mind it. Like I said, I'm really excited when people get sponsorships. So yeah, I have no problem with it. And finally, question number 7. Do you think BookTube is dying? No. There are so many new booktubers starting channels and making friends, and there's so many new people joining our community. There's so many more people discovering our community. People know about BookTube. People are talking about BookTube. Michelle Obama had an interview with different booktubers. Big booktubers are getting these like awesome opportunities, like being on the sets of movies. They're getting, you know, more interviews. They're getting like all this recognition, and I really think that BookTube is honestly really growing. And I said this, I don't even remember when, they were talking about how like a lot more publishers are reaching out to booktubers because they realized, you know, we are a pretty good way to market your books. You know, because people come to BookTube to hear about books, to talk about books, to see new books that they want to read. It's marketing that's already going directly to your intended audience. And a lot of publishers seem to be realizing this, a lot of people are picking up on this, and this isn't a brand new thing or anything like that, but publishers are definitely noticing how influential booktubers can be. And I told somebody, you know how like on books they have like the award stamps, or like this was nominated for this award, or like blurbs from like other really popular authors? I really think that in the not so distant future, the like list of achievements on a book cover is going to be like rated #1 in Jesse the Reader's 2023 wrap-up, or like Haley and Bookland's favorite read of 2025, or like one of Emma Book's most anticipated reads. Like, I don't know, maybe won't get quite that much. So yeah, I definitely don't think BookTube is dying by any means. I think it is growing and thriving and doing pretty darn well. So that is all I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, I'm sorry that my voice was so horrible throughout this video. I hope it wasn't too annoying. Even though I don't sound like it, I do feel like I'm getting much better, so by my next video, I should be sounding back to normal, or at least mostly. Again, don't forget to check out Yumi and SAVY's videos. I'm gonna link them down below. And if you've done this tag, let me know, because I really find it interesting to kind of see a lot of other people's perspectives. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button so that I know, and if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe. I make new videos every Wednesday and Saturday, usually reading or writing related, and for the month of April, every Wednesday's video is going to be a Camp NaNoWriMo vlog, and I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. I'm doing a really fun project, so you should definitely check those out. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!